Cheers! How do you do, buckaroos? How the heck are you? No, this really isn't my living room, but I thought it'd make a nice backdrop as we head into October. Here's one I picked up last weekend from Deep Sleep Brewing in Washington, Missouri, where dreams become brew. Patrick's Feeling Hazy IPA, 7%. Let me show you that can there. Although I poured it here, it's not as hazy or murky as some of them seem to be. The aromas are very nice. So right away when I picked up, there was almost this uh, orange Julius-like aroma, right? A very creamy orange. Some tangerine, might get a hint of grapefruit as well. There you go. Sometimes hazies, if you can't get them all in the glass, right? You'll pour the rest of it, and then you'll see the hazy because it all sits at the bottom. But no, I mean that's not near as hazy as most of the style, which is fine by me. There's hazy and then there's murky. Anyway, this doesn't look so bad though. Nice head there, as you can see. Again, the flavor was almost like orange Julius. Very bright, creamy orange notes. Might feel some tangerine. Again, maybe a hint of grapefruit in there as well. I found these while we were around Steelville. I didn't have a chance to get to the brewery because it was a little farther out than we were staying. So it does make me want to get out towards Washington because of the brewery, but also there's a distillery out that way that I like to hit. So that gives my wife and I something to want to shoot for at a later date. We don't want to make that far of a drive this time around. We're both kind of recovering this weekend. It's that kind of vacation letdown, right? Kind of sort of caught between being a little restless and wanting to get out, just being beat down from the weekend before, and wanting to stay home. And again, not wanting to spend any money because I spent a lot of money last weekend, man. So wanted to get out, do some things, wanted to buy some things, and I kind of said, no, I'm just going to make myself not. Hadn't been to Springfield Brewing Company in quite some time. I bought a mug also out at Tie and Timber. I think I've been there 3 times this year, and now we're heading almost towards renewal time. Obviously, I didn't make that one pay off for me, but the year's been kind of that way. Just hadn't had a chance to get out very often. I think I've only been to Springfield Brewing Company maybe a half dozen times. I hadn't been out there very often. I mean, it's been less than once a month. I will renew the Springfield Brewing Company, mostly because I've had that one for so many years, and I kind of like to keep it around. I doubt if I'll renew the Tie and Timber. Not that I have a problem with them. They're a great brewery, but they're not necessarily in my wheelhouse, right? And I just don't get a chance to get out there very often. I think they're more for folks about 20 to 30 years my junior that really appreciate more of the trendy styles. If you like sours, if you like milkshakes, if you like anything different, really that is the brewery to go to. Because I always ask folks will say, well, where should I go, Tom, if they're coming to town? I said, well, what are you into? So we're into this, that, or the other. So, well, that's probably the brewery you want to go to. If you like anything trendy, Tie and Timber is probably the best brewery to go to. Because not only do I think she's one of the best brewers in this town, she's probably one of the best brewers in the state. And one of the few that's in that same ballpark, in my opinion, is Andy over at Wire Road. Andy is pretty amazing. This is nice. This style really isn't necessarily in my wheelhouse. It's not necessarily not. I'm not crazy about the, like I said, the difference between hazy and murky. I mean, I've seen some that are just kind of milky looking that I find just unappealing, and not really crazy about this. It's not necessarily the flavors I'm not crazy about. Sometimes it's the mouthfeel. A lot of them leave this very chalky mouthfeel that I personally find off-putting. This one does not, actually. This is rather delicious in all honesty. I describe this style as a as a brunch IPA, right? It's a brunch beer, right? Because of the tropical or the citrus and sometimes tropical fruit flavors, it does lend itself well to a brunch. Instead of having that mimosa or Bellini, hey man, pop yourself one of these. You're gonna get the same thing accomplished. You're gonna get there, baby. You're gonna get there. anyway, uh, Anyway, I digress. Oh, I thought this was a nice little fireplace. You can't see it's not my house because I got that ghost light glare in the background unless I sit right here where you can't see it. My wife's got that light over there and you can see the 3 little lights popping up there. There we go. Now they're gone. The ghost lights are gone. Just thought it made a nice little cute backdrop. But now my wife can't see. So he's turned off the lights. So. Now she's playing around in the dark over there. Anyway, I digress. I didn't get around to doing these shows, so we spent a lot of money last weekend. I spent $60 at a butcher shop out there. We ate some of the stuff there while we were gone last weekend, but there's some stuff we brought home that I ate during the week. But now it's all gone, so I have no meat going into today. But I've got some meat being delivered next week, so I didn't really want to go out and buy a lot of stuff. So we're kind of, kind of working with some stuff we have to get through. Yeah, no, I've got that big butcher box coming, so I didn't want to, go out and buy a lot. I thought about going to a local butcher shop because they had advertised they had a flash sale on ground steak burger, but again, it was about an hour after it was announced that I saw the post. And by the time we were able to get out, it was about 2 hours later, and I know that store sells out of stuff so quick. So screw it. I'm just gonna deal without. I'm just gonna wait till that box gets here. We'll eat stuff. Eat stuff. We'll get around to it. I think I got a couple cans of salmon still in the pantry. We'll get by. I just didn't want to buy stuff because I know I've got stuff coming, but I didn't make that stuff from the Singing Butcher in Steelville last quite as long as I thought it was going to. Along those same lines, I made this huge, monstrous pot of chili yesterday. That I thought I would have just an insane amount of leftovers, but we had our grandkids over last night, and both of them had seconds. I think the little one even had thirds. So I went to go put it away, and there was like maybe one good bowl left. I just thought I was gonna have so much leftovers, man, because I had this big pot, right? And there was like this much left. I said, man, I don't know what I was thinking to make so much chili, but it's gone. It's gone, baby, gone. Anyways, focus back on the beer. Deep Sleep Brewing. So I also picked up a Helles that I drank when we got back from our trip, and that was very nice. I've got 2 beers left from them. I've got a double IPA and Imperial Stout that I'm going to kind of hang on to for a little bit longer. I'm going to let the weather get just a little bit colder. But I thought I'd pop this Hazy. So far, I'm rather impressed. The Helles was style perfect. Style perfect. This one, I don't know if I can say style perfect on a style like this, where even the style description is rather murky. But of the hazies that I've had over the years, that includes some of the biggies that everybody wants, this is as good as any I've ever had. Even some of those that are sought after by beer geeks. So, anyways, I digress. I am Tom the Beer Whisperer, beer evangelist, prolific beer drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and all around good guy. One thing I do like about this one, though, getting back to that mouthfeel, a lot of this style, yeah, it really bugs me because it leaves that kind of chalky residue. Now, when I've talked to folks, again, 20, 30 years my junior, they don't seem to let that bother them. But for me, I find that chalky mouthfeel very off-putting, and this one does not have that. And I know some have been known to add flour to the mix, and maybe that's where that mouthfeel comes from. I don't know. But I've had folks that, again, I'm not going to mention the name of the beers. I mean, because there's some of the hazies that are very sought after, and when I've had them again, they just leave that chalky mouthfeel that I find very off-putting. So when I find one on my list that doesn't have that, it's absolutely brilliant. So anyway, one more time with feeling. I'm going to see if I can say it once more. I am Tom the Beer Whisperer, beer evangelist, prolific beer drinker, purveyor of wisdom, all around good guy. Cheers, guys. Have a good one.